Welcome to AxieBite, where we explain Axie Infinity in bite size. Today, we'll be talking about the most talked about Axie out there, Terminators. Sit tight and take out your notebooks because this is going to be long, but we have managed to break this down into very simple categories for you to remember. So what are Terminators? These are Axie that specializes in not only keeping enemies stunned, but also slow them so that Terminators will always go first. Now let's dive right into it. Let's talk about the cards that Terminators usually have. First off, we have Chomp. Chomp, probably one of the defining skills of a Terminator, is an ability that stuns an enemy if it is played with two other cards. Next, we have Sticky Goo. Sticky Goo is a shield ability that stuns enemies, but the stun happens when the shield breaks. So whether or not the enemy is being passive or aggressive, Terminators have a way of stunning them. Then we talk about the other two cards that people don't usually notice. Mystic Rush and Allergic Reaction. Mystic Rush is a card that slows down enemies by 20%. The slow effect can also be stacked. Last but not least would be Allergic Reaction. Allergic Reaction is the ability to finish off enemies. It does 130% damage if the enemy has a debuff on it, in this case, either stun or slowed. So now you get the idea of what a Terminator does: stuns enemies, slow them, and deals massive amount of damage. Now that you know what Terminators are made up of, we'll talk about how they are played. Terminators usually play any one of these three patterns, so take note because once you recognize what patterns they are using, you'll be able to fight them well. Pattern 1. The Setup. This one is simple. They'll play their cards in exactly this sequence: Sticky Goo, Mystic Rush, and then Chomp. The goal of this pattern here is to get enemies slowed and stunned for the next round. They won't be able to do much damage here. The average Aqua has 57 speed, and the average Reptile Terminator has 42. The first Mystic Rush will get your Aqua down to 45 speed, and the second one would get it down to 34, and you'll be stunned as well. If you're going up against a Dusk Terminator, they will only need to use one Mystic Rush because they are generally faster than Reptiles, with 46 speed. So what happens in the next round? Remember, when you are stunned, any damage you take will bypass your shield. The next round will be their attacking phase. Pattern 2. Attacking phase. Attacking phase is when the Terminators will start dishing out damage. Here are the three ways that they will attack you: Chomp, Chomp, Allergic, Allergic. Chomp, Allergic, Chomp, Allergic. And Allergic, Chomp, Chomp, Allergic. Pattern 3. Dusk Pattern. This next pattern you'll see is usually done by Dusk Terminators. Remember we talked about how these Terminators only need to use one Mystic Rush? So their combo will be a little bit different. Here's the combo: Sticky Goo, Mystic Rush, Allergic, then Chomp. After this combo, then it'll either be the attacking phase or the Dusk pattern again. But one thing to note, if your team is already slowed at any point of the match, this combo can be used by regular Reptile Terminators as well. Lastly, we'll talk about a specific pattern that they will use when they are low on either energy or cards. Energies are important to Terminators because in order for them to be effective, they'll have to play the patterns we talked about. Want to know how you can lower their energy? Check out our previous videos about cards that destroy energies here. So moving on, this pattern is called the low energy pattern. When they are low on energy, they'll just throw out these cards: one Sticky Goo or Sticky Goo with Mystic Rush. When this happens, they are usually counting on you to break their shields because, as we mentioned before, Sticky Goo stuns you if you break their shields. And that wraps it up for today. Remember these patterns that Terminators will always stick to: the setup, followed by attacking phase, or if they are Dusk Terminators, Dusk pattern, then attacking phase or Dusk pattern again. If they are low on energy, low energy pattern. And that wraps up our episode for today. Keep a close eye on our channel because we'll be releasing part 2 on exactly how you can counter Terminators. See you in the next one.